Some people have lovely rubbish, don't they?
How do you make money for nothing?
Are you chucking that, really?
We are, yeah.
The answer could be hiding in the 20 million tonnes of household waste we throw out every year.
Presume it hasn't come straight out of the sitting room, then?
That's why entrepreneur Sarah Moore
My colour?
wants to get her hands on things before they hit the skip.
I'm a passionate buyer, maker and user of old stuff, and I've turned that passion into a money-making business. I make new stuff out of old stuff, and I sell it for a profit.
And with some of the country's elite designers and makers.
What do you think?
I think it's beautiful.
Is that it?
Yep.
She can transform her finds into desirable,
Oh my goodness me.
valuable,
Goodness, I love it.
and let's hope, saleable items.
Oh my word.
If Sarah is successful, then she can hand the profits back to the very people who had no idea there was cash to be made from their trash.
I didn't dream it would ever come to anything like that.
It's a chilly day down at the Witley Recycling Centre in Surrey.
Well, the weather might be dull and uninspiring, but the rubbish is anything but. Who knows what's coming in?
Sarah's searching for 3 tired items that can, with a bit of creative know-how, be transformed from barely passable to highly desirable. And when she thinks she's found something, she's like a dog with a bone.
It's really friendly, apparently.
It looks like fun, but keep in mind that Sarah has been given special permission to rummage around here. While Sarah plays the waiting game, a different Sarah arrives with a trailer load of trash.
Hi there.
Hi.
I like your sofa.
Thank you.
I think I like your sofa. It looks like it's had a bit of a hard life recently. Where's it come from?
It came from a lovely friend's house, a very lovely lady who died earlier in the year, or at the end of last year. And it just clearing out, really, getting rid of some of the stuff from the house for them. I'm just helping them.
I can see it's probably past its best.
Delicately put, Sarah. It turns out this sofa has been subjected to a sustained and vicious cat attack.
How many cats do they have?
Oh, numerous over the years.
Excellent. How long do you reckon they'd had it?
I think they've probably had it since it was new.
1960s, it looks like it was.
I think so, yes.
Going into one of those really dark sitting rooms they had in those days.
Very dark.
Yeah, so that's yeah, good colour for now, but a little bit tired. Is that the kind of thing that I might be able to take from you when you put it in the landfill?
Yes, definitely.
And is it heavy?
No, not desperately.
Maybe not heavy, but it still takes 2 to offload safely.
Well, I think it's got potential. If there's something that can be done with it, can I come back and show you how it
Yes,
turns
that
out?
would be lovely.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much. I'm very excited to find that. Lovely.
Glad it goes to a good home.
Well, let's see what I do with it first.
Not a great advert for the 60s. Is Sarah surprised this feline fretted furniture has been given a second chance?
It's rather smelly and it's very tatty, and yes, I'm very surprised anybody wants it, but I'm very glad it's going to go off and have a new life. With a new cover on it and new material, I'm sure it'll look beautiful.
There's a lot of cat on this. I'm going to brave a sit down on it because at the moment I don't really think this is made for lounging, but it does have some good qualities. Might look a bit tired and a bit cat-worn at the moment, but it's sweet, it's petite, and after he's finished with it, I think we've got a real chance to make some profit on it.
And Sarah's got just the maker in mind to dig their creative claws into this old thing. Anthony Devine, Upholstery Megamind. Anthony takes his 2 decades of design experience and passes it on to others at his School of Upholstery. Anthony's work is loud, exciting and experimental.
My style to somebody else's style is I try and avoid looking at other things. I try and avoid seeing what everybody else is up to. Now it's like in the workshop, come up with the idea. Do you know what? This is my idea and this is the best I could do. Judge me on that. I'll always get the job done. Might have to stay up late and do it. Yeah, with a few kind of twists along the way.
When it comes to sofas, Anthony really has seen them all. So what new ideas will he bring to this one? Sarah's found a sofa, but she can't put her feet up yet. She needs to grab another 2 unloved and unwanted items before they hit the skip.
Well, they're off ski, and I'm off ski to find some rubbish.
Does Corinne have something of interest in her boot?
Oh, hi there.
Hello.
Do you need a hand with that?
Yes, I think I do, please.
What is it?
It's an old cooker hood.
Is it copper or brass?
I'm not sure what it is, actually. I think it's copper.
Yeah, that bit looks coppery,
Yeah.
but that bit doesn't, does it?
It's all the same. No, I don't know.
So how long have you had it for?
Well, it's at least 15, 20 years since we had the kitchen redone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you gone for now? A crisp and modern look? No
Yeah, it's
copper?
a modern one, yeah.
I like I think they call it patina these days, but rust or marks on it. You can't recreate it, so I think it looks really cool.
Patina is a posh word for the layers of discoloration on metal. And as any school kid will tell you, this green discoloration is called verdigris.
This might have been in fashion, 15, 20 years ago we
Yeah.
need it, but it's right back at there again.
Oh, good.
All metallic stuff. May I take it away?
Yes, you can take it away if you like.
Brilliant. Perhaps I can make something out of it.
Yes, I hope you can do something with it.
I think I can manage it on my own, but I'll take it away, and if I can make
Right.
something out of it, may I come and find you and show you what happens?
Yes, certainly.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully I'll be in touch.
This old cooker hood has seen as many hot dinners as I've had, well, hot dinners. What do you think can be cooked up with it, Corinne?
What she's going to turn it into, I haven't the faintest idea. But it'd be interesting to see.
Well, it's a big chunk of copper, and you know what they say, where there's muck, there's brass. I'm hoping where there's copper, there's going to be cash, because this type of material is on trend. This is a great chunk of it to use, and we probably won't keep it as a cooker hood, so who knows what it's going to end up like. It's certainly got heaps of potential.
Sarah knows just the crafty type to coax some cash from this copper. Kev Paxton worked as an industrial blacksmith for over 20 years before giving it up to pursue his passion, forging reclaimed metal into works of art, inspired by the rugged beauty of the Scottish countryside.
The style of our work is pretty organic. We didn't have straight lines, we didn't use tape measures. We sort of just do everything very naturally as Mother Nature would do. There's nothing bothers me more than seeing rubbish lying about. So if we can make that into something useful that'll make somebody smile, then good.
Will Kev create something from the cooker hood to bring a smile to Sarah's face? Sarah bagged a sofa for Anthony and a cooker hood for Kev. But what will she salvage for her own upcycling project?
I love it here. It's great.
Jackie has some intriguing items that have caught Sarah's eye.
Hi there.
Hello.
Is that a seesaw?
It is, yeah.
It wouldn't get through health and safety today, would it?
No, I don't think it would.
So you're clearing out family stuff?
Garden clear out, shed clear out, yeah. Grandma's old things, which are now, I guess, are old things.
These are
Okay.
good. Are they going in?
They are, I know. They've had good use, but I don't think we can really use them much now. But they're nice. They're nice pieces.
Did you make jam in them, or what was...
Grandma would have these. They were in a shed. They had a chicken farm.
Right.
And we've just been clearing out what was called the egg shed.
Right, okay.
Which they stored the eggs in, and these were in there. So I think she probably would have used them from some kind of preserve or something.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Anything like this that comes into the tip, I'm always leaping on it, because if you get one, it's fine. How many have you got in here?
I think we've got about 12. Yeah.
A
quite
dozen
few.
of some things like this become really interesting,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's something that could be done with them rather than them being smashed up. I'm not sure they're fit for jam, but I think they are interesting, and I'm sure something can be done. So
Yeah.
can I take them away?
Yeah, sure.
If I manage to start the next pickled egg factory, can I come and show you what I've done?
You can.
Lovely. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right.
So, what could be done with these grotty old jars? Any ideas, Jackie?
Maybe light, because they're quite thick. Can I imagine they'd be quite nice if they were lit with something? Yeah, be interested to see.
Look at this lot, a dozen beautiful vintage jars. They've got lovely lids on them, they've got great typography down the side. They might not look much at the moment, but I think they're going to be lovely. I'm going to make them into a dozen somethings.
There we have it, 3 items saved. Anthony's going to take on the moggy mould sofa. Kev will attempt to cook up something tasty from the old cooker hood. And Sarah has 12 jars to turn into, well, something.
Well, another day and another dollar to be made because there's so much potential in those finds. Let's get to work.
In Manchester, the city that gave us Oasis, New Order and the Smiths. But mainly it's home to this charming man, maverick upholsterer Anthony.
When Sarah drops stuff off, things are never easy, but obviously we love the challenge.
Anthony, you are in for a treat.
At the moment, it's in a dreadful state. This size, this colour, this shape should be really commercial. Let's hope he sees the potential. Come and check out this little cutie. It's a winner, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, like, I am trying to look beyond, like, it.
Well, that's a lukewarm welcome. Maybe Anthony's weighing up his options. And this option weighs about 60 kilos.
I can't, it's too heavy for me.
Come on, Sarah, nearly there.
Heavy, isn't it?
I'm glad my table's strong enough. I'm not sure I want this on it for much longer.
If it was in mint condition, it would sell just as it is. What are you going to do with it?
Take it out the back and strip it, first of all.
I think that might be a good idea. I think it's mainly surface. It's all right. It's beautifully soft and squidgy and hairy.
It's beautiful.
Potentially beautiful.
Potentially beautiful.
I was thinking, how fantastic would it be to make it, are you ready for this? Rainbow striped. Beautiful blocks of velvet colour in rainbow shades across it, and make it something bright and beautiful and sort of inspiring.
He doesn't look convinced, Sarah. Any thoughts, Anthony?
I was thinking like a play on sensors, you know, like everybody expects sofas to be soft and squidgy.
Yeah.
If something was hard, or you expect it to look hard, but it's actually soft and squidgy, it's like maybe something concrete.
Is my hearing going? Did he just say soft concrete?
With this, imagine you could see this, but this wasn't there. So we pre-upholstered it, photographed it, digitally printed it, and then put the fabric back on, but without the buttons. So the fabric has the buttons and the deep button already in it.
It's hard, but it's soft. It's there, but it's not there. I hope you're getting all this, Sarah.
I understand what you're doing. It does sound expensive. If this is an experiment, if you're going to be playing around with stuff you haven't done before, I know I haven't got an unlimited budget on things like this. So what are you thinking about?
£800.
Well, that went down like a lead balloon or a concrete sofa.
800 quid.
I mean, honestly, it's a deal. It's experimental for us. We're obviously going to chuck a lot of time and effort into it.
800 quid, 3-foot stool?
No.
Oh.
I'll send you a bit of fabric, you can do it yourself.
You really are quite clever. I hate to say it, but it's a great idea.
Thanks.
Well, a visit to Anthony is never dull, is it? Concrete, I mean, who'd have thought of that? I just hope there's a pot of gold at the end of his idea, though.
Well, there's no going back now. Anthony's getting stuck in already.
I quite like a Chesterfield. I don't have a sofa named after me. Maybe one day.
Anthony's concrete concept is set hard in his mind. But if he doesn't like what he finds inside the sofa, could his £800 budget start to crack? sight of the Forth Road bridges and a stone's throw from Edinburgh Airport lies Kev's Smiddy. Sarah's hoping that Kev's fertile imagination will spark life back into this old cooker hood.
Well, I know that Kevin is a blacksmith who normally works with black metal, but today I'm bringing him copper. I've got a really challenging project for him, but I think he's going to like it. How are you doing?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm really well. What do you reckon to that?
Yeah.
Copper?
Different from my usual medium.
You're more iron, aren't you?
Yeah, I like to put things in a fire, like black metal in a fire and forge it. So this is quite light. We could certainly do it. I've worked with copper before, but not a lot.
Well, do you know what I was thinking? I went to a pub recently and they had one of those traditional copper-topped tables.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I know, I'll give it to Kev and he can make a table out of it.
Well, there's a challenge.
Maybe put over something to make it a little bit more rigid.
Yeah, we'll certainly need to put over a carcass. You know, it's too flimsy to work on its own. Make it nice, soft edges, hopefully just similar to that. And you want organic legs?
Yeah, you make great organic legs, don't you?
Yeah.
The beautiful leaves and that kind of stuff. So I was wondering about maybe even a console table or something that really shows off, so it's got long legs that you want to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, your thistles just look fantastic. Any chance of a thistle?
You push your luck now. Thistles are very time-consuming, but we'll see what mood I'm in when I wake up that day. It's usually a really good mood, but we'll see.
Sarah's asking a lot. Free-flowing organic metalwork with leaves and thistles doesn't sound cheap.
Can you put a figure on organic legs, copper top, that's a console table?
I could probably do something really nice for £600.
OK. Metal stuff always sells well. I know when it's right, it flies. So, fantastic.
I'll just have to make it right.
You will make it right. Go for it. Thanks so much. Nice to see you.
Sarah. Bye-bye. I'm going to add nice wee surprises out of steel, so at least I get my own medium to work with. But yeah, quite looking forward to the challenge of working with a piece of copper.
Well, that's Kev commissioned to create a copper console. That's going to be cracking. I'm off for a cuppa.
Oi, leave the wordplay to me, clever clogs. Sarah set Kev a real challenge with this cooker hood and with a metal he isn't used to. Can he bring it in on the £600 budget? With the transformations on the cooker hood and sofa underway, Sarah's back in West Sussex to start work on the jars.
Well, at first sight, they might not look much to you, but I think these are absolutely beautiful. And they literally don't make them like this anymore. I would love to turn them into lighting. But I think the first thing I need to do is give them a really good scrub down and see exactly what I'm dealing with.
Lighting? Will light be able to penetrate all that dirt? Time for a bath.
I'm not sure I'd want my marmalade in them.
The rusty lids have left marks on the glass, but Sarah's happy to keep it for a bit of added character.
In quite a good nick, actually. Look at them.
With the jars rinsed and dried, Sarah assembles her light-making kit.
So I've got these great aged bronze fittings here. I've got some flex, which is covered in natural linen, and a wiring job.
To prevent the flex from unravelling, Sarah is covering each end with insulation tape. After stripping back the plastic jacket on each wire, she is carefully screwing the cables into the bulb holder.
So it's really important to make sure that these are in just the right places. The earth goes in the middle, and then you've got the live and the neutral on either side.
The top cap then clips into the bulb holder, ready for the main fitting to be screwed in.
Really good fit. So I just want to suspend this light fitting just inside the jar. So I've got this. Now these you can buy to turn your jars into lovely posy holders. Now this is made of metal, and I know that metal and flex don't go well together, so I just need to insulate the cable to make sure that when it goes through here it can't fray on the metal. These are Libby's drinking glasses. Now I'm sure she's not going to miss just a tiny bit off the end of each one.
That extra layer of insulation reduces the risk of the flex being worn down by the metal lid. Bramble's intrigued.
Do you like it? Not interested.
Sarah's handiwork failed that inspection, but it will be examined and pack tested by a qualified electrician before it's finished.
So that's the wiring done, now the fun bit, because I want to paint on these jars. My plan is to use a frosting spray so that they have a lovely glow when the light's turned on, and then use a palette of botanical colours to paint some really sophisticated designs on them. Frosting first.
The golden rule of working with aerosol paint is shake the can vigorously. And of course, when working with any aerosol product, always do so in a well-ventilated area. As Sarah wants a clear window through the frosted glass, she's masked off a section using sticky labels.
Hope that's a desirable effect.
We hope so too, Sarah. For the finishing touch, Sarah is painting patterns onto the frosted surface.
This is going to take ages. Maybe come back later.
Sarah has worked on 7 jars and has spent £84 on materials. She's hoping to generate a glowing profit from the finished desk lights. In Manchester, with the sofa stripped to its bare bones, Anthony's had a chance to inspect the insides.
Although aesthetically it wasn't the nicest looking sofa, Chesterfields tend to be good quality. You can tell instantly by the weight, and also if you lift the front edge, the whole sofa lifts, so it doesn't buckle, and we know we're onto a winner.
A Chesterfield-style sofa is typically one where the arms and back are at the same height. The design has been around in various forms for over 300 years. But Anthony's master plan is bang up to date and involves a digital printing process that will make his fabric look like concrete.
So what I'm doing here, first of all, is we call this the sprung edge, and that is basically what we're trying to do is just get this in a nice line and stop it and just put a little bit of tension into it. It's just going to go up through the springs and then back down on itself. This is just to help to keep it all nice and square, and also just put a little bit of tension into it.
Anthony is using upholstery twine to tension the springs. After tying off the corners, the sofa is ready for some Hessian backing.
So the reason why we're putting a Hessian on, it helps with the longevity, so it stops any of the foam degrading against the sprung unit. Normally, we would start with the arms and move on to the back first, but because we already have the sprung unit in place, I'm just going to tie all the Hessian down. It's a great platform to put my tools on, but also it takes any of the sharp edges off for when we're putting the fabric on so we don't catch it on the metal. Some people know this is like a blanket stitch, and what this is doing is now stitching the Hessian into the spring edge, again, just to stop like kind of the Hessian sliding around on it, and it just really to help give it longevity. So the last one's just going in, and I'm just going to tie this off. Right, I'm happy with that. We can get it all stapled off now.
The base and the back have springs, but at the moment the arms are just bits of wood with air in between. Anthony's planning to fill those voids with strips of webbing.
With this, our jute webbing, we need to pull it and really tension it. Now, a lot of people will have seen in books web stretchers, but because we always have our pincers near us, it's just a quick method to be able to just strain it, and you then get the same tension as you would do with a web stretcher.
It's a good start, But until now, Anthony has been on familiar territory. He's about to enter uncharted waters, tackling the tricky printing required to bring his concrete concept to life. In Edinburgh, Kev is steeling himself for a day of working with copper.
Copper, it's not me, so I don't have any welding facilities for copper, so I'm just going to have to make it up as I go along. If it goes wrong, we can always change what we're going to do.
Never mind, Kev. If in doubt, get the chalk out.
So we're going to make a console table, narrow top to it. The legs we're going to make out of steel to give it strength. In my mind, it's pretty good. The finished product, hopefully, is okay.
Kev needs to measure out the copper to get the correct size for a console table.
What is actually a console table? I've never heard of it, so do you know what size it is?
Well, it's not really the size, but the shape that's important here. A console table is traditionally long and thin, designed to sit in an entrance hallway.
Nah, we'll just do it. It's a console coffee. Yeah, it'll work, it'll work.
You should give Sarah a call, Kev, because you know, once you start cutting, it's too late to stop. Ah well, console table, coffee table. They're both tables at the end of the day. With the edges smoothed off, Kev is measuring and marking where the folds in the copper will go.
I've already noticed one of my sizes is wrong, so it's slightly out. So as long as nobody looks under the table, I'll not see the 2mm of difference.
Your secret's safe with us, Kev. A quick visit to the folding machine, and the tabletop is beginning to take shape.
Voila.
So far, this table doesn't have a leg to stand on. But Kev's plan is to make some out of steel, which leaves the leftover copper for him to shape and decoratively detail. And that requires heat. A lot of heat. The melting point of copper is nearly 1,100 degrees Celsius, but it only requires a fraction of that to make it workable.
So now we've rolled it, made it into sort of climber, piece of grass or something like that. And all we really have to do is make the steel legs up, fit the copper top around the carcass, and hopefully everybody's happy. Seems to be working.
Don't get too ahead of yourself, Kev. There's a lot of intricate metalwork still to do before Sarah will be happy. In West Sussex, Sarah's making final adjustments to her jar lights.
Well, it's been quite a lot of hard work trying to get these looking just right. I really hope it's been worth it.
Sarah's challenge was to turn a very unappealing collection of old jars into a set of charming and sellable desk lights. Would you believe it? The frosted glass diffuses the light beautifully. And Sarah's delicately painted botanic motifs add colour and country garden charm to this elegant makeover. The clear window makes a feature of the retro-style LED bulbs, even when the light is switched off.
Well, the lights are working, and I think the project's working too, because they've been frosted, they've been painted, they've been tested, and now they're ready to go. And I'm hoping with all the botanical influences that are on the high street at the moment, that this lot should fit right into somebody's home.
Jackie was getting rid of her grandma's collection of jars.
I think she probably would have used them from some kind of preserve or something.
Yeah.
Sarah was keen on preserving the jars by turning them into something more attractive. And with some careful crafting, she's transformed the dirty dozen into the magnificent 7. After advertising them online, Sarah managed to sell all 7 jars, and is now in Godalming to show Jackie how they turned out.
Hello there. Hi, Jackie. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
So you were having a really big clear out when I saw you, and those jars really caught my eye.
Yeah.
They looked like they hadn't been used for a while.
I don't think they had ever been used, yeah. They'd been stored in the shed out the back, which was being cleared out.
Did you wonder what I might make of them?
Only like I think of was lighting, maybe.
They really lent themselves
Yeah.
to that. There are lots of kits around for repurposing those kind of preserving jars, but I wanted to do something a little bit more original with them because I just love their shape. So it was something I worked on. I don't know why, but I was inspired to do some botanical work with them. So
okay.
they turned out to
Yeah.
look like this.
Wow.
So I painted on the outside of them and
wow.
etched them and turned them into jars so that they could be like night lights to go on a desk.
Wow,
What
that's
do you think?
fantastic. Yeah, that's amazing. Very nice.
I shared them on social media and they sold actually really quite quickly.
Yeah.
So I've got some profit here for you.
Okay.
So after selling all of those jars, I have, there's £4 there
Ah.
and £190
No
there
way.
to go
Wow.
with that.
Wow, fantastic. That's brilliant.
Any thoughts about what you might do with that money?
Yeah, we did have a think because they were my grandmother's, and she used to support the Salvation Army a lot. So
Right.
we thought we would give it to them.
Fantastic. Well, that's lovely. That makes all those hours painting ferns even more worthwhile. So thank you so much. They were great
You're
to
very
work
welcome.
on. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, it took quite some time to get that project exactly right, but I think the hard work paid off. That's a big chunk going off to charity.
Sarah spent £84 transforming the jars. They were sold for a total of £278, leaving Jackie with a profit of £194. Sarah's back in Manchester to find out how Anthony's got on with the sofa makeover.
Well, I've come to pick up a concrete sofa. Now, what does one of those even look like? I mean, I'm all for hardcore recycling, but this better be good.
So Sarah's going to be due at any time. She's expecting to walk in and find a concrete sofa. I think I've delivered that. There are a few other little tweaks along the way we've made. This sofa's got humour. It's not to be taken too seriously. I personally love it. I hope she does.
Working with real concrete is fairly simple. You just mix and pour. But printing and fitting it onto a sofa sounds like a trickier prospect. How has Anthony fared? Anthony's experimental fabric has given the old blue sofa a postmodern facelift. The plush fabric deceives the eye with its deep-set buttons that are actually flat. The decorative silver studs add a touch of bling. And the sofa complies with current UK fire safety standards. It looks like Anthony's had a bit of fun with this, but will Sarah smile when she sees it?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my word.
Come on round.
Oh, wow. That's clever. How you doing?
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. I think you know it's concrete, don't you?
There's an influence of concrete in there, but now I've gone off more into what the buttoning's doing rather than the concrete.
It looks really cool. I mean, you want to touch it because you think they're there, don't you? It's really difficult to tell.
Yeah, so we even just went to adding like the depth. We put like the black spots in it to try and make the depth.
Are you pleased with it?
It was a long process, lots of different bits until
Right.
you can actually see what the outcome is. And as per usual, I've been up all night finishing it.
Well, I really appreciate the effort. What's strange about it is it looks like a massive sofa that's been shrunk into miniature. I don't know whether that's
I know, yeah,
because
yeah.
of all the bits on the back of it.
First of all, we played around with the scale of the buttons, and sometimes it was just too big for the size of it, and then tried to reduce them in size so it was more to make it look more like a pattern should the deep one part not work.
It is really clever. I mean, literally, it is deceiving the eye, isn't it? You
It's
can't.
as heavy as concrete.
Is it?
It weighs an absolute ton.
Well, I think you've done a great job there.
It was in a bit of a sorry state, to be honest, but as soon as you start taking all the kind of the cosmetic bits off and you get down to its bare bones, the frame was as good as it left the workshop the first day. It's got a really nice sprung unit in it, which is always a good sign of quality. that remains, and we've just built on from there.
So you've been up all night, and it's got really plush material on it. How are we doing for the budget? 800 quid?
If you're happy with that, I'm happy with that.
Put it there. You said it's heavy. I'll send a van. Thanks ever so much. OK, so it wasn't concrete, but that sofa is really cool. It's a fresh, modern take on a Chesterfield, and that's going to make it interesting to sell.
Sarah, yeah, that Sarah, was offloading the tatty old sofa, and our Sarah thought it might be worth a punt.
Is that the kind of thing that I might be able to take from you rather than you putting in the landfill?
Anthony came up with a heavyweight concept.
I was thinking like a play on sensors, like maybe something concrete.
It sounded far-fetched, but Anthony's ingenuity made it a reality. Now Sarah is back in Whitley to catch up with Sarah and show her how the sofa turned out.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
So I said I'd be back in touch with news of the sofa that you were dropping off at the recycling centre, but it wasn't yours, was it?
No, it belonged to friends. Their mother died, and I was just helping them clear the house, so I just took the sofa down to the dump for them.
And it was in slightly careworn condition, wasn't it?
It was a bit, yes, the cats have been living on it for a while.
So did you have any thoughts about what might happen to it after it left you?
No, I was intrigued to see what you do. I just thought somebody would set fire to it, really.
Well, I didn't give them that option. I took it to a fantastic upholsterer there called Anthony. Didn't mention the cats.
No, good.
But let him have free rein with his ideas about how to update it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're expecting.
Wow.
It now looks like this.
Oh, wow.
What he has done is upholster it, replace all of the linings and all of those things.
That's amazing.
That were there.
It's beautiful.
And where your sofa had those lovely buttons all around the back, he has created a fabric that looks like it's buttoned, but actually it's completely flat. So it's a little bit of a trick to the eye. Yeah. Do you approve?
Well done. Absolutely, I do.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
I've only just picked it up, so at the moment it's still for sale.
Yeah, OK.
But I'm confident it will sell.
Yeah.
So as soon as that's done, I'll be back in touch. But
fantastic.
Definitely profit to come
Thank you
when
very much.
coming your way.
OK.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I just couldn't wait to come back and show Sarah what had happened to that old sofa. It's got a fantastic new look, it's going to sell, and I'll be back in touch with money.
It cost £800 to give the sofa a modern makeover. It's still for sale, but when it finds a buyer, there should be a healthy profit heading to Whitley. Sarah's back at Kev's Smiddy to find out what he's created with the copper cooker hood.
Hello.
But how is Kev feeling?
Pretty apprehensive. But I know she likes the wild Scottish take on it, so hopefully she likes what we've done.
Well, I've come to see Kev in metal heaven. He's got that copper cooker hood, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a bit of alchemy here today. It's going to go from copper to solid gold.
The hood was redundant and destined for the scrap heap. Did Kev manage to solve Sarah's copper conundrum? Consider it solved, deciphered and downright smashed. As planned, the copper sheet has been shaped onto a wooden base to make a sturdy tabletop. But the legs are where Kev's artistry with metal really shines through. Deciding that copper would be too flimsy, Kev has instead used mild steel to sculpt thistles, leaves and tendrils that delicately intertwine with the steel legs. Sarah was looking for bells and whistles. She's ended up with bells and thistles.
Kev?
Hi, Sarah.
Wow, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. I love it.
Good.
How'd you get on?
Wee bit of hard work, but with the materials we had to work to, but we think it's okay.
That is just so beautiful. I'm blown away, literally.
So you like it? That's good.
It's so funny seeing something made out of metal that looks so fluid and delicate and organic. Was it tricky to work with?
Not really. Just not what I'm used to. You know, I'm used to big, heavy bits of metal and smash them on the anvil. This was a wee bit more delicate, so
I don't really want to talk about money because I think what you've created here is priceless, but 600 quid was the region we left it at. How'd you get on?
We used quite a lot of stuff out the skip, so my materials was basically zero. It was all just down to my time. So, yeah, I think we'll deal at that.
Well, that is money well spent because what you've made here, so original, so beautiful. I really love it. The only thing I regret is that I can't own it, so I'm going to say fantastic. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Thanks for that.
See you later.
Well, that table is a fantastic thing to see because the copper always had potential, but Kev made all the right decisions. It's great colour, great design, great style, just the right size. I am delighted.
Corinne was revamping her kitchen and the cooker hood was surplus to requirements.
What she's going to turn it into, I haven't the faintest idea, but it'd be interesting to see.
Rather than see it scrapped, Sarah passed it to Kev, who came up with a table complete with cool Caledonian touches. It wasn't long before it was snapped up by a private buyer. And now Sarah is back in Whitley to tell Corinne what became of her cooker hood.
Hello, Corinne, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you very much.
Lovely to see you again. How's the kitchen renovation gone?
It's gone according to plan, it looks fine, thank you.
Excellent. So somebody accosts you at the recycling centre and says, I'd like to take your cooker hood away. What do you think we did with it? Any ideas at all?
No, I've got no idea what you do with it, no.
Well, in fact, it went all the way to Scotland to a blacksmith artist called Kev, and I've got pictures here to show you what he did with it.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yes.
It now looks like this.
Oh, my goodness.
So he has taken that lovely piece of copper that you had and given it some legs, some style, and transformed it into a console table.
God, it looks lovely.
Do you like it?
I do like it, yes. I think it looks very good indeed. I would never have dreamt of doing anything like that.
And the good news is that something that decorative sells quite well. So I have managed to find it a new home, and I've got some profit here for you.
Oh.
I have got £150 here for you.
Oh, my goodness.
For your old cooker hood.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Is there something that you can think of that you'll be spending that kind of money on?
I shall give some to charity, but as we're going away tomorrow, might have a nice good meal out somewhere.
Oh, fantastic.
Hopefully.
Well, that's a great balance. And I'll tell Kev that you're
Yes, please do,
donating
yes.
that. Thank you so much for letting us have it. Any more of those cooker hoods, you know where to find me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, Kevin went all out to transform that cooker hood, and I think Corinne thought he did a cracking job. There's money for going out for dinner and some going to charity.
Kev's cost came to £600 to make the table. Sarah sold it for £750, leaving Corinne with a profit of £150. The dirt-encrusted jars are now fabulous table lights. The worn-out sofa has been completely rejuvenated, and the cooker hood is now part of a spectacular table.
Well, sometimes it's all about the money, but sometimes it's just about following the story of lovely things, giving them a new lease of life, seeing them loved again.